Well, there was something in the woods over here that they both seemed to be aware of. On today, December 23rd, this is a special Christmas saint. Modern, well, not really. This is Saint Marguerite de Whoville. So, she's from, that famous town near the Grinch. Marguerite de Whoville, 1701 to 1771, Quebec, Canada. Okay, I jest, but I couldn't help but notice I noticed it. It made me think of it, and sometimes I have a odd sense of humor. Today is, in fact, the feast day of Saint Marguerite de Whoville, but I couldn't help but think of Whoville. Probably because when I was shopping and I saw, I would try to get some new Christmas decoration this year. They were like 18-inch tall ceramic, a pair of elves with lights draped around them, and I got a pillow with Santa. It's pink, but I got it anyway. A little music box that you twist that supposedly has cookies in it. But the problem is, it doesn't show how to open it. And I am really afraid, because it doesn't look very well made, that if I twist it, I don't know how it comes out. I'm afraid I'm going to break the music box part of it trying to get the cookies out. So I'm going to have to do some research on that. Anyway, what does that have to do with anything? Oh, I got a plastic bowl. There we go. Plastic bowl that had little Whoville, the characters of the Whoville encircling the top part. And who could resist that? It was like $5, $6. Anyway, Saint Marguerite de Whoville. She was the eldest of 6 children. She was the niece of La Vérendrye, who, it says, quote, discovered the Rocky Mountains. So I guess this La Vérendrye was an explorer, probably French, who saw the Rocky Mountains and, quote, discovered them, even though the American Indians had certainly been there before him. But, I mean, the Europeans discovered Florida, discovered Massachusetts from their only knowledge of Europe. So I guess you could say she, quote, he or whatever, La Vérendrye. So anyway, she was her cousin. Her father died when she was 7. She was educated for 2 years with the Ursuline sisters. She returned home at 13. I don't know how the numbers, I guess she stayed there for a while at 7 and then went. She returned home at 13 to raise and teach her younger siblings what she had learned. Her mother remarried an Irish. Not remarried an Irish. Sit down. She didn't remarry an Irish physician, but she remarried a man who was an Irish physician. He was considered an outsider in their town, and so they were kind of shunned. So they moved to Montreal. At 21, she married Francois de Whoville, who proved to be a negligent, adulterous bootlegger. They lived with his mother, so that tells you. Well, no, that would be today. He would live in his mom's basement. She was a mother of 6 children. 4 died in infancy, and both of her 2 sons who did live became priests. She was widowed in 1730 at the age of 28. Francois left her nothing but debt. Wow. That's the end of part 1. She opened a store to support her children and spent her profits helping those even poorer than herself. Now, this is a recurring phrase that I've noticed, and I'm not sure if it's particularly with the women saints, but I remember seeing that at least twice in recent times, where the person made money and gave away to people poorer than themselves. So that's pretty awesome. Yep. And then with the help of Father Luis Normant du Faradon and 3 like-minded women, she founded the Sisters of Charity of the General Hospital of Montreal. Man, everything is a long name with these people. In 1737, on December 31st. So there's another Christmas reference. In 1755, they received diocesan approval. They overtook operation of the failing and decrepit General Hospital in Montreal. Marguerite lived in the hospital the rest of her life, and she served as its director. The hospital nearly closed several times due to financial problems and the armed conflict between the French and the English in the region. She and the sisters made clothes to sell, to trade, to raise money for the hospital. Imagine making and selling clothes would be enough to keep a hospital running. Not today. By her care for the English soldiers, that caused them to avoid damaging the building. They were grateful. So it just shows you how a good deed can be appreciated. And today, the sisters work in Canada, US, Africa, and South America. So today, Saint Marguerite de Youville, we ask you to pray for us, and we ask all the lady saints particularly, all saints, but the lady saints to particularly speak to the hearts of voting women who tend to vote in favor of abortion. We ask for a change of heart and a recognition of the gravity of the decision of abortion. And finally, remember to pray for all the souls in purgatory.